Hey there, this is Rebecca from justformesewing.com, and what I want to show you today is how to repair a drawstring that has broken in an item of clothing. This will work in almost any item of clothing, but what I'm showing you today as an example is our very popular fleece jacket. The bottom hem of the fleece jacket has an elastic drawstring so that you can tighten or loosen it if you want it to hang straight or if you want it to blouse out. You have some options there. So let's get started. All you're going to need is your garment, and you're going to need a paper clip or a safety pin, and that's it. All right, so just to get started, let's just talk a little bit about the drawstring. Basically, in most garments, a drawstring is inserted by folding the fabric over and then stitching it so that a channel is created. And in order to show you this, I've actually opened that channel up on this garment. So yours should not look like this, but you can see that the fabric is folded over and then it's stitched in order to create a channel, and then your drawstring is threaded through that channel. As you can see, most elastic is not manufactured in a circle, it's manufactured in a straight line. So in order to make it into a circle, what they do is they thread it through and then they sew it closed or knot it closed or attach it somehow. And what might happen to you is that that attachment will break, okay? So let's just pretend this is breaking. Obviously, I'm cutting it with scissors. This comes apart, and then your drawstring can completely come out of your garment like this. Oh no, you're thinking, what am I going to do? It's a very, very easy fix. What you need, though, is you need some way to thread that elastic back through that channel. So what I'm going to use in this case is a safety pin, a paper clip, which most people are going to have, but a safety pin will work too. However, in this case, if you use a safety pin, it has to be a small enough safety pin to fit through this eyelet. And on this particular garment, it's a very small eyelet. So you're going to have to get a very small safety pin. So if you don't have one like that, this paper clip trick should work. So you're just going to unfold your paper clip, and then you want to make a hook with it by bending this top part over. The purpose of the safety pin or the paper clip is just simply to help you feel that string as you're threading it through your garment. And in this case, I'm going to have to get a pretty tight little hook on there. It can't be that big because it has to fit through here. So I'm just testing it to make sure it fits. Oh, yep, it does. So that's good. All right. So I'm going to take one end of my drawstring that's broken. I hope you can see. All right. And I'm going to thread it through that little hook and make sure it stays attached. I guess the best way to do that right now is just to make a knot with it. So I'm going to knot it around that little hook. And what I'm hoping is that this won't be too large to fit through that little eyelet. If it is, we'll have to figure out a way to make it smaller, but let's try this. Okay, as you can see, it was a little difficult to get it through that small opening. The knot was actually the problem. That was larger than the opening. And I think there's probably a way you could do this without making a knot, but I think that's going to lead us to problems later. So this is what ended up being the good solution. Go ahead and open your paper clip out all the way, and not around one end as we discussed before. And then the other end, make it straight, but just curl it over a little bit so that you don't have a really sharp end there. All right, and then you can go ahead and insert that through that eyelet. And yes, you're going to have to use a little force here, but that will allow you to thread all of that opening, all of that end through that opening. And if you struggle to get that knot through, you can put pressure on it from the other side by pulling on the end of that paper clip that you can feel, and there you go, it went right in. Okay, so now all you have to do is, while you're watching TV or listening to music, whatever, just gently pull that string all the way through that channel that you have in your fabric. And sometimes the little end of that hook of the paper clip can get caught in your fabric there, so just gently, you can feel it in there, just gently move it off. So I'm just easing that paper clip on through, and as you can see, the cord is coming along with it. Sorry, I got a little bit of fabric that tore off there, but you can see it coming through. All right, so we're going to push that through all the way to the other side. All right, so now I've gotten it all the way through to the other side of the garment where you see there's another eyelet. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my paper clip and push it out of that eyelet. Oop, there it is. And I'm going to pull it on through. And I want to get that other end of the paper clip that can sometimes catch a little bit. So there we go. So I got it out of the hole, and then I'm just going to use that to pull the knot right on through this eyelet. There we go, voila. So I've got my one end of my drawstring, and I've got the other end. All I'm going to do is just tie these two ends together. All right, so I'm just going to untie the knot that I made originally to hold it onto the paper clip. And I'm going to match these two ends together. And it's very similar to how you're going to tie a shoestring. To start out with, left over right, and then right over left. Sorry, let me show you that again. Left over right, right over left, and pull that tight. You need to pull it very, very tight so that it'll be small enough to fit back through that eyelet. All right, so now your drawstring is complete. It's a circle again. But it's all scrunched up. So all you need to do is get that knot back through that hole. All right, so getting this knot back through that little eyelet ended up being the hardest part of this process. And let me tell you what the solution was. It was very easy. You need to just tie the knot very tight. So just do that carefully by pulling very tight on these two ends and then also on the other two ends of the drawstring. And you'll see that knot will get smaller and smaller. And then again, if it makes it easier for you, this little end keeps fraying a little bit, so trim that off if that makes that easier. And then put that little end back through that hole. All right, and then it should be very easy because this elastic is going to tend to pull that direction. And we'll get that little knot to go. Right back in through that eyelet. We can use our paper clip to help push it through. There it is, we got it in. Just keep pulling that. And your drawstring's fixed. Turn your jacket back right side out and you're ready to go.